So while you might think of him as an athlete, please make sure you also think of him as a teammate, a graduate, a brother, a son, and a giver. And my objective for this show is to give honor to the Hamlin family and give honor to Damar. Joined by Dave Helman, NFL insider, the brilliant, as always, Joy Taylor, my former teammate, my brother for life, LeSean, Shady, McCoy. Shady, let me start by asking you, who is Damar Hamlin to you?
Damar Hamlin. He goes by D-Ham. And I got introduced to this young kid. He went to Pittsburgh, I went to Pittsburgh. And as I went to the camp, like 3 years ago, I seen this kid in camp, flying across the field, playing D-back, playing safety. But he had a C on his jersey, and that means captain. And as I got a chance, after the practice, I got a chance to meet him and talk to him. Just talking about the NFL, because I seen that he had a promising future, right, in which he went to the Bills, and we kind of stayed in contact. But D-Ham, man, was like a good kid. You know, he went to Central Catholic, a school I'm familiar with, playing in Pennsylvania, because I grew up in Pennsylvania. And it's everything that players from the Bills that I played with, when they got to meet him, they said everything that I knew already. He was a genuine kid. He was nice. He had a chip on his shoulder. He had that old Pittsburgh blue collar. Work hard, go out there and get it done. And then once I seen everything happen yesterday, man, I just had flashbacks of staying in contact with him. I remember when he got drafted to the Bills, just talking to him about what they expect, right? And it was brief, just, Buffalo, you love the fans and et cetera. And him so happy to get there. Just an all-around good person, great kid. One thing about him, D-Ham, is just that, like, he had that attitude that gravitates to people, and you want to be around a guy like that. And you love to go on the battlefield and play ball with a teammate like that. So he's a great person, man. He's a great kid, smart kid. He's my pit brother, right? And it felt good to know him, because I was obligated to as an older pit brother, to tell him the things to look forward to in the NFL. And that's why I'm praying for him deeply.
No doubt about it. Joy, who is Damar Hamlin to you?
Well, I think you introduced him really well, Emmanuel. I grew up in Pittsburgh, was born and raised there, so he's a neighbor. He grew up in McKees Rocks, which is about 30 minutes it's on the other side of the city from where I grew up. And there's an amazing piece that I tweeted out, written by Tyler Dunn, and it tells a great bit of detail, I think you read it as well, about Damar's story and how he grew up and what he overcame. And Shady just mentioned it. Pittsburgh is a special place. It has a blue collar mentality, and I think a lot of people say that, but when you hear someone's from Pittsburgh, or you hear someone spent time in Pittsburgh, you instantly have a connection, because you know the city and you know what it means to grow up there, what it means to overcome being from certain places in Pittsburgh. And that's a big part of his story and why he is the man he is today, why he chose to go to Pittsburgh, to stay around and give that experience to his younger brother. And he had offers to go to all kinds of big D1 schools, and he chose to stay there in Pittsburgh. I think learning more about his story and what his family has overcome, what he's overcome, paints a picture of the true character that he is, and what he's about and what he means, not just to his family, but also to his community in McKees Rocks and Pittsburgh, and what he wants to do for the youth there. Now, I went to Woodland Hills. Obviously, I'm very familiar with Central Catholic, as is Shady. Those are the two big football powerhouses in Pittsburgh. And, it's a special relationship that football has to the community of Pittsburgh. It's why it's a big part of who I am. So, learning more about who he is as a person, it's reflective of his story and why he is where he is. And obviously his teammates and everyone in the community, in the NFL community, is telling their relationships with him and who he is.
Dave is a journalist of the National Football League for 10 years. Who is Damar Hamlin to you?
Damar Hamlin, and I haven't had the pleasure of meeting him personally. I didn't grow up in Pittsburgh. But for me, and my time covering the NFL, he is the epitome of a real NFL player. Because, I mean, think about the math of the NFL. You know, there's 70 guys in an NFL locker room. Maybe 10 of those are like the superstar caliber players, the guys that we debate on a show like this, the guys that swing fantasy football championships and all that trivial stuff. The other 60 are guys like Damar Hamlin, guys who were good enough at football as high school players that they got offers from places like Pitt, Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State. That's how good Damar Hamlin was at football. And he was still a 6th-round pick, and that's not a knock on him. That's a testament to how top tier the NFL is and how many of these guys are chasing that dream, drafted in the 6th round, very little in the way of job security. Emmanuel, you know that personally. Fighting for your chance. He gets a chance to start for the Buffalo Bills because of injuries ahead of him, and he's making the most of that opportunity. Still not a guarantee of anything in the future. And I spent 10 years in NFL locker rooms, and there's so many guys like Damar Hamlin where, you know, they want to represent their community, be it Pittsburgh, be it a completely different corner of the country. They've got a brother or a son or a daughter that they want to make proud, a community they want to make proud. They've got causes that are important to them, whether it's a food drive, whether it's a children's clinic or a children's hospital. It could be innumerous, and they're all working toward that dream and that goal. And the vast majority of them are doing it in relative obscurity, considering that they play in the most popular league in America. And I think that really hammers it home, is that this is the workforce of the NFL. This is the backbone of the league that is so popular, that we dedicate so much time and energy to. And it's tragic, but it's just a reminder that that's 65 lives on the field every week. And it's just a brutal reminder of how fragile that all is.
Drafted pick 212, pick 212, Damar Hamlin. I was drafted pick 204. As you were describing that journey of Damar Hamlin, I was thinking about myself. As a 6th-round pick, nothing is given. Everything is earned. And Damar Hamlin is earning everything. Micah Hyde, former teammate of yours, LeSean McCoy with the Buffalo Bills, he goes down with a neck injury earlier this season. Hamlin steps right in, and he does not relinquish that position for nothing. He steps right in, and with the tenacity that he played with at Pitt, he brings that same tenacity to Buffalo. Speak to me, Shady, about being in Buffalo. I know you've talked to some of those Bills players. I know you've talked to some of Hamlin's teammates. Speak to me about the mentality of what might be going on with those guys in this moment.
Man, from last night till this morning, I've spoken to a couple of Bills players, old teammates of mine, and they're hurt. They're hurt. I'm hurt. I'm hurt because I obviously had a relationship with him, but I'm just thinking of, like, the situation. He's from Pittsburgh, right? The game's in Cincinnati, so it's not that far, a 2-hour drive, if that. Family's coming to the game, the mom, the uncles, the brothers, like, people are coming to the game to see him play. I'm thinking about the family, you know, mentality, the mindset. What are they thinking? How to keep everybody upbeat, you know, and the mom. Like, I love my mom. I'm a mama's boy. Just imagine my mom being there and I'm on the field. So not only just the players, but myself, like, I'm hurt from this. And then when I speak to my teammates, my ex-teammates, you know, they're hurt. I won't get into all and describing what happened, but just imagine your brother, right? Imagine your brother on the field. Hurt bad. Can't breathe, heart's not beating. CPR on the field, that's never been done. So some of the guys on defense that I did talk to, it's like, when you ask us to play again, or even think to play again, how do we talk about tackling? You want us to talk about tackling when I don't know if my brother is safe? No thumbs up, no sign, no none of that. And just talking to all the guys, man, just really would hurt. They talked about how they were in the locker room after the stuff we see on TV. Just, you know, the coaches talking back and forth, and then when they went back into the locker room on the phone, I'm sure with the owner, not the owner, but Roger Goodell. Yeah. They said after that, they all sat in the locker room for about 2 to 3 hours because the flight to go back to Buffalo was after the game. After the game, it might be like an hour and a half until you leave, but it still was on schedule. Mm-hmm. So they had all that time to just think about what happened. Our teammate is on the ground, and mind you, this teammate Damar's like a really good kid. He's like, and I talked about having like a chip on his shoulder, like doing everything possible, right, to make the team. Do
When's
everything
the last
possible.
time y'all spoke?
I want to say right before when
Micah Hyde got hurt?
Micah Hyde got hurt. Just talking about, hey, time to step up, ball out. And this team has been through a lot. Like the owner, Miss Pagula, she's been hospitalized for the whole year. They haven't been seeing her. And then Dawson Knox lost his brother. So as I'm talking to my ex-teammates about what just happened, what just took place, they quickly remind me of what type of year it's been. Dawson Knox, that was just a couple months ago. That just happened. So it's like this team is dealing with so much. And then to be there on the field, and I try to explain to a lot of my friends that didn't play in the NFL, that don't really know what it means to be in the white lines. Like we talk about, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win this game. I'm gonna put my life on the line. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Friends mad at my teammates. Oh, he didn't tackle, he didn't catch the ball. We lost the game, fantasy, whatever it is. But we forget these people are human beings. So now it takes something like this to sit in to like, dang, this is a real person. It's not just a figure on the field. So, I mean, just talking to a lot of my guys, they're deeply hurt, man. And I mean, too, it's just, you never want to see these type of things. And then it's a job, right? So the game has to go on. And that's the worst part about it, is that this game is a job that we take care of our families. But to go back out on that field, to tackle somebody, you can't help to think about if that could be me on that field next. It's a tough situation, man. It really is.
I hope you all are continuously enlightened through this dialogue, to some degree captivated by this discussion, but more than anything, again, I hope that this conversation serves Damar Hamlin and his family, because that is the primary objective of this show.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.